Yo, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like, I'm really recording under some hot conditions because I don't want to turn on my fan because of the noise and. So I'm like, I'm gonna just have to take one for the team because it's gonna bug me if I listen back and I just hear the fan noise in the background. So, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Ladies Pitch Podcast. I am your girl, Haydee Baby, also known as your favorite mommy on these pod streets. You feel me? Hope everyone that is listening is doing great, amazing. And you know what I always say, if you are not in the best of the best, then hopefully you will be by the end of this episode. This is what I aim for. As for me, your girl is doing swell. I'm actually doing a lot better. I'm gonna give you guys a quick little update of what's going on. So approximately about 2 weeks ago, I was in the hospital for like a day and a half. This weather, allergy season. The girl got asthma, and my asthma flared up, and I had an asthma attack. And I went to the hospital twice in one day. And when I went the second time, they were like, you know what, we're gonna have to admit you on the observation just to make sure that the meds, are actually working and to kind of like prevent you from having to return back to the hospital. So we're gonna admit you here and see, how you respond to the medicine that you're giving here. So back, they put me in this room next to this elderly lady that was 95 years old with dementia. So, if any of your grandmas or grandpas or anyone suffers from dementia, that can be a little bit rough. And my grandma also suffers from dementia, so I'm kind of empathetic to what was going on with the lady. I wasn't like rude or just mad that she was making noise at 4 or 5 in the morning. As long as I didn't wake up in the middle of the night when she wasn't standing over me with a knife, I was good. So, yeah, she was complaining a bit, saying that I was coughing and I was sick. Her son was kind of like, "Mom, this is a hospital. Everyone's sick." But they the nurses were trying to tell me like, "I'm sorry, like, she's making so much noise, she has dementia." And I'm like, I get it. I mean, what I'm gonna say, right? I'm like, I knew I wasn't gonna be there for long. So, but your girl is good. I'm good. I'm doing great now. I can actually breathe and my lungs are clear. So let's get this show on the road. If you haven't already done so, make sure you like, subscribe, share, review the podcast on all streaming platforms. You can find the Ladies Pitch podcast on Instagram and on YouTube. Our handle is at Ladies Pitch. So do what you do. So what's new? So I've gotten into this show, couples therapy. Shout out to Kim. And I've been like this past weekend, I was binging the show the whole weekend. Like, it's just so good. You know what it is about me, that I'm so into psychology. I'm so into like the mind and human behavior and why people do what they do. So I'm definitely in the wrong field. But I love the show for that. So if you haven't watched the show, it is basically about couples therapy, self-explanatory. So it's a doc style kind of show, and it follows each season. It follows about like 4 or 5 couples. They're either married, been married for years, or they're in long-term relationships. So it kind of follows them through their ups and downs of their relationship, whether they're currently have some issues that they need to work through, if there's any like past infidelity, if it's, they're in a polyamorous relationship and they're trying to navigate through that and they're having some issues. So the psychoanalyst, Orna, she is the one that's, helping these couples get through these issues and work through these issues, right? And I must say, I have to say, I aspire to have the level of patience that my girl has, because how, sweet, like, I would have been told some of these couples, like, y'all need to break up. Like, there's no reason why y'all together. Like, y'all should not be together anymore, because some of those couples look like they are going to kill one another. They are literally going to kill one another. And She just sits there and she's very empathetic, like she's understanding, she soaks in everything that's being said. If at any point she has to intervene and tell one that the other one has to like kind of switch up the way they communicate certain things because it's not translating well to their partner, she does so. And I know a lot of them are kind of hesitant, to receive that type of like feedback from her. But sometimes and most times an outside perspective can actually help, especially a licensed professional, right? They can tell as an outsider observing in, like, what exactly is the problem. But um I like the show because it kind of like, I take my own mental notes when watching it. Like, okay, I've noticed the importance of like, your tone, of your delivery when you're speaking to your partner, what's not an effective way to communicate. Sometimes what we think, oh, we're great communicators, I'm communicating, I'm saying it this. No, a lot of people get very defensive, and people just don't pick up what you're putting down. So the show kind of like teaches you that, especially if you're married, if you're in a relationship, whatever type of situation you're in, a relationship that you're in, it kind of just gives you certain tools that definitely, can impact and shape your relationship, if you're open to it. There's a lot of people that are not open to advice or not open to therapy, and that's fine, but for people like myself, that I'm all about like learning and growing and evolving into how I can be a better person in all aspects of my life, I'm very open to a lot of the things that she does say on the show. But if you guys haven't checked it out, if you're interested, it is on Paramount Plus. So if you do have Amazon Prime, more than likely you do have Paramount Plus, and you'll find the show on there. So let me give y'all this wild story that happened to me too a couple of weeks ago. Like, yo, I'm telling you, when the creeps want to get you, the creeps are gonna get you. They don't care what platform they're gonna reach out to you at. But a couple of weeks ago, I had this random guy hit me up on TikTok in my inbox. And he basically was like, I don't remember what video I posted. I know I posted something on TikTok, and he responded with a DM, and he basically said, like, oh, I'll pay you $450 for you to just play with your hair, twirl your hair on camera. And I'm like, $450? Me knowing the type of person I am, I was like, let me entertain this bullshit. Let's see like how far down the rabbit hole I could go with this motherfucker, right? Mind you, I'm like, I'm not taking this serious. Too good to be true. Too good to be true. $450 you're gonna pay me to watch me twirl my hair on camera? Sway. You don't know my trust issues? Like, I don't trust people like that. So I'm like, bet, let me respond. And I'm like, $450, you're gonna pay me $450. And he's like, yeah. He was like, I just want you to. And guys, this is a true story. He said, I'm going to pay you $450 if you pick up a random guy from the street, okay? Sit him in front of you and just play with your hair in front of him. And you're going to tell me, describe to me how he's looking at you. Yeah, you heard correctly. And I get it. I get that people have their kinks. I get people have their thing, their fetishes. It's not meant for everyone to understand. So whatever that does for that person, cool, bet. It might be a little strange to me. I don't understand what's the turn on in that, but it's not my thing. So it's not meant for me to understand, right? So again, I'm like reiterating back to him, like, you're going to pay me $450 if I pick up a random guy on the street and twirl and play with my hair in front of him. And then you want me to describe to you in detail how he's looking at me as I play with my hair. Do I do I got this correctly? Do I got it? And he was like, yeah. Long story short, I know it was bullshit. I know it was a scam. I kept entertaining it. Homeboy just really wanted me to get on camera with him, and something about playing with my hair or my face. I don't know what it was, but I can only assume that he wanted me to get on camera and he wanted me to provide some type of free content in exchange for this $450 that he was going to give me. No, sir. Mm-mm. That's that's not how this works. That's First of all, I don't sell content. I don't have an OnlyFans. I don't charge or provide any type of uh, content to anyone that listens to the pod or anybody I've ever potted with. That's your thing. I support it. I'm all for sex work. I'm all for OnlyFans girlies. You do what you want to do. I don't judge anyone. But you thought you was gonna take me for a sucker and do something like that? Nah. The internet is a very strange place, and it is filled with a lot of weirdos. It is filled with a lot of motherfuckers that just prey on women and prey on vulnerable people and probably very naive people, because a person that probably didn't have any like street knowledge or any type of like knowledge of how the game works probably would have fell for that, and probably that type of like content would have fell into the wrong hands. They would have found themselves, now with AI, they would have found themselves probably on some porn website, on some porn video, and yeah, life probably would have been ruined if shit would have gotten out there. And that's the extreme. That's the most extreme thing that could happen. But you just never know. Like, I'm very active on Twitter, and I see how a lot of people, they post their thirst traps and their nude pics, and they feel so free to do so because they feel like Twitter is a place that no one judges. But at the end of the day, your content could fall into the wrong hands, and you can become like a victim of like an online stalker, or someone that's not going to do anything good with the things that you post. That's why I'm like very much like, I don't, not a person that likes, the posting of children. And I always say that when I have my own kids, I'm not going to really be posting them too much, because I don't know, I have fallen down so many crazy rabbit holes and a lot of crazy dark shit that has gone on. So I don't want any parts of that. Moving right along. So recently I came across an Instagram page that posted Love and Hip Hop star, former Love and Hip Hop star, Emily B. If you don't know who Emily B, aka Emily Bustamente, is, she is the ex girlfriend of rapper Fabulous. Um, she dated Fabulous on and off for many years. She has three children with him, plus her daughter, which is his stepdaughter, and he raised her. Um, but if you were ever a fan of the original episodes of like Love and Hip Hop New York, she was on the first season, and she shared her story of like being Fabulous girlfriend, and being his stylist, and how she kind of felt like she was the hidden girlfriend, and he wasn't really necessarily claiming her publicly even though they were together. She had that type of situation going on with him. But since then, they've had their own children. They've broken up. There were some allegations some years ago of domestic abuse. I remember seeing a video online of Fabulous. He got into some type of altercation with her father, and they show him in the video kind of like chasing her father with a knife or something. And there were also some allegations about him, you know, trigger warning, of him, punching her in the mouth and knocking out one of her front teeth. So all that took place. They've broken up since then. There's been a lot of back and forth online shit going on between, her daughter and him, exchange of words. Um, she's been single. She's never been seen with anyone else publicly. And recently, she became Instagram official with Country Wayne. Now, don't kill me, guys. I didn't know who Country Wayne was until I saw that post. I looked him up. Apparently, he's a comedian, and he apparently has shitload of kids with a shitload of women. Don't know how accurate this is, but that's what has been said across socials. So he's, officially in a relationship with Emily B, and she looks very happy. He seems to be very funny, very silly, very childlike, which sometimes after being in such a toxic, fucked up relationship, just being with someone who's a little bit more lighthearted and someone who's kind of like childlike, you know what I mean? It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun and it's light and you know, there's nothing, listen, there is nothing that I love more than to see my girls flourish after leaving a toxic relationship. There is something about seeing girls flourish, seeing girls evolve into their soft girl era, seeing girls move on, to someone better. And I'm not saying necessarily he's better because I'm not, so this is very new and I don't know too much about them. I didn't go that deep down on the rabbit hole, but there's something about it. Like, listen, I'm gonna be real. Like, I was a fan of Love and Hip Hop when it first came out and she was on the show. This girl looked sad all the time. Like, I honestly didn't even know she had teeth because she was always looking so sad. She was always looking so down. She was like constantly crying on the show because, she wanted him to commit. She wanted Fabulous to commit to her. And, he was just like, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. I hate that fucking line. But she was constantly crying over this man. And just in general, when you see a girl shining, glowing, smiling more, doing her thing, putting herself first, there is just something so beautiful about that because it shows that, like, this is not a situation that you honestly want to be in. It's not a situation that you can thrive in, right? Like, we all deserve to be happy in some way, shape, or form. Whatever happiness looks like to you, you deserve that. And if you're a genuinely good person, you know what I'm saying? Like a good individual, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to know your own worth. You deserve to know that there is something more out there for you than the fucked up situation that you're making yourself believe that you deserve. And there's nothing more beautiful than realizing your worth and stepping into your soft girl era. I love it. I love this for her. I love this for her so much. Sierra has shown us. Sierra has shown us just how beautiful life can be after leaving a toxic relationship. Okay? I always say, do you know how fed up Sierra had to be to leave Future while she was pregnant? Do you understand how fed up you have to be of someone's shit to leave them while you're expecting their child? And look at her. She found herself a man who loves her, who appreciates her, who tells the world publicly how much he loves his woman. We all deserve that. We all deserve more to life than just the bullshit that we think we deserve. And I know a lot of you men, I know a lot of you people are rolling your eyes about that, and I don't give a fuck. Okay? I don't give a fuck. We do. We all deserve happiness. Okay? And when you know better, you do better. All right? So that was the the Instagram official post for them too. Um, it's so funny how everything is speculations until it's posted on social media, and then everyone is like, "It's a real thing! Oh my, we're officially together," because it ain't real. It ain't happen if it ain't on the ground, right? That's what they say. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll see how this relationship evolves for her, for him. You know, she has a few kids of her own. He has a bunch of kids, I guess, together. It'd be a little Brady Bunch situation, whatever. Even people with a bunch of kids deserve love too. Like, I don't know, I kind of find it annoying when people are like, oh, she has a bunch of kids. Oh, he has a bunch of kids. Like, so what? So what? No one deserves to be happy because they have kids. No one deserves to move on. No one deserves to find what they, what I'm saying, what they want and what they feel they deserve in life. Like, come on. You don't deserve to stay stuck in the same shitty situation because you either have kids with someone or you have years invested. Like, no. Mm-mm. I don't believe so. I don't think so. I think that if you are not happy, if you feel like the situation that you're currently in doesn't benefit you, if it's taking a toll on your mental health, if it's constantly making you sad more than it's making you happy, or making you stressed and miserable more than it's making you happy, then you have every right to leave that situation and move on to what you feel you need to have in life. Simple. Doesn't matter how many kids you have, it doesn't matter how long we've been together. Like, if you make me miserable, guess what? I'm out. I'm out. And that's just, listen, that's just how it goes. Like, that's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I don't care. That's just is what it is. So what else is going on? What else is going on? What else is going on? So um hopefully I'm gonna try to shoot some content. My girl Lo is coming up to New York this weekend. I'm hoping to shoot some content. Just going out with her, roaming the city, being a tourist, and it's her first time in New York, so I really want to show her a good time while she's here. And um, the summer, hopefully, I'm so sick of the rain. I'm hoping that this summer will finally make his appearance because I don't know what this shit is out there right now because it's all rain, 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 rain. I need the sun. I need some sun because this skin, see, I swear I'm a lot whiter in person, but I need some sun. I'm hoping to do some collabs this summer. I've got some people that want to collab, and I need to find the time because I don't want to. It's going to be more than likely it's going to be in a studio, recording studio. So I don't want to give half-ass content. I really definitely want to bring on something good, funny, light. You already you know how Ladies Pitch does it, right? So shout out to Habibi, shout out to Keens. We definitely have been in the talks about linking up and doing something. So hopefully sometime this summer we can definitely do that. Um yeah, so let's see what's up. Let's see. So what else is going on? What else is going on? Yeah, there's really nothing else going on. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on everything that's coming soon, from Ladies Pitch. Again, I cannot stress enough. Please, please, please subscribe, like, drop a comment on the video on YouTube at Ladies Pitch. You know where you can find your girl. It's really important to keep us in the algorithm. I thank you so much for you guys tuning into this week's episode. Make sure, yeah, make sure you subscribe. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys on the next one. This is your girl, Haydee Baby, your favorite mommy. Peace.